It's getting harder to ignore. The heart of American retail, the stores we grew up with, the brands we thought would last forever, are quietly dying. In 2025, over 3,000 major retailers, not local shops but national icons, are shutting down for good. Pharmacies, grocery chains, banks, department stores, the places that once defined everyday life are vanishing like they were never there. This isn't just about poor sales or bad management. It's about an economy cracking from the inside, crushed by debt, inflation, and a middle class that can't afford to spend anymore. Each closed door isn't just a lost store. It's another community fading away. A pharmacy desert here, a food desert there, until one day the lights go out, everywhere. Today, we're looking at 12 retailers collapsing right in front of our eyes, and what their downfall reveals about the silent unraveling of the American dream. Because when even the discount stores start dying, it's not just retail that's collapsing, it's us. Number one, Walmart. When Walmart, the world's largest retailer, starts shutting down stores, it's not just a business story. It's a national red flag. In 2025, Walmart has quietly closed dozens of locations across 6 states, from California to Illinois. Thousands of workers displaced. Entire towns left without affordable groceries or basic goods. On paper, Walmart still pulls in over $648 billion a year. But behind those massive numbers is a slow-motion implosion, crushed by organized retail theft, inflation, and razor-thin profit margins. Executives admit that theft alone now costs the company more than $3 billion a year. And here's the darker truth. Even in a country where 60% of households live paycheck to paycheck, Walmart's prices aren't low enough anymore. Customers aren't filling carts. They're buying only the essentials or ordering online from Amazon. Every closure leaves a crater. Suppliers lose contracts, tax bases shrink, small towns lose their economic heartbeat. Walmart once symbolized American efficiency, the unstoppable retail machine that always found a way to profit. But when even that machine starts breaking down, it's not just a sign of a struggling company. It's a symptom of a nation that can no longer afford itself. Because if Walmart can't make retail work in America anymore, what chance does anyone else have? Number 2, Walgreens. Walgreens was once the symbol of American convenience. Open late, reliable, everywhere. The store you went to at 2 a.m. for cough syrup, baby formula, or a prescription refill. But that era's over. In 2025, Walgreens announced plans to shut down 2,150 stores, nearly 1/4 of its U.S. locations. That's not realignment. That's an implosion. Inside those shuttered glass doors lies the perfect storm. Rising rent, falling insurance reimbursements, and labor costs spiraling out of control. Revenue fell by $8.3 billion year over year, while theft and operating expenses exploded. And the consequences go far beyond the company. Entire neighborhoods, especially in cities like Chicago and Los Angeles, are turning into pharmacy deserts. Millions of families now live miles from the nearest place to fill a prescription. For communities already struggling, it's not just inconvenient, it's dangerous. No easy access to medicine, no flu shots, no baby formula. The healthcare lifeline is being cut, one closure at a time. Behind the scenes, Walgreens is drowning in $36 billion in long-term debt. Even CEO Tim Wentworth admitted 2025 would be a year of, quote, hard decisions. But these aren't decisions. They're desperation moves. And the symbolism couldn't be darker. If America's second largest pharmacy chain can't survive in a country spending $4.5 trillion a year on healthcare, what does that say about the system itself? The pharmacy aisles are empty, the red and blue sign goes dark, and for millions of Americans, the message is clear. If Walgreens can fall, no community is safe. Number 3, Big Lots. Big Lots used to be the last stop for America's working class. A place where you could stretch a paycheck and still walk out with a couch, a lamp, and a little dignity. But in 2025, that dream is collapsing. The company barely dodged bankruptcy earlier this year and has begun closing dozens of stores nationwide, with more on the chopping block. Sales plunged by over $250 million, and the stock has crashed nearly 70% since 2023. Behind the numbers is a company and a customer base, both running out of oxygen. Big Lots doesn't even know what it is anymore. Furniture store, discount chain, home outlet, that confusion cost them dearly. Shoppers have moved on to cheaper competitors like Dollar Tree, Five Below, and online discounters that undercut them with free shipping and faster deals. Meanwhile, the company's own filings reveal over $1.1 billion in long-term debt, and stores that remain open are running on fumes. Aisles half empty, hours cut, employees reduced to skeleton crews. Some stores are losing $5,000 to $10,000 a day. You can't discount your way out of that. Big Lots once promised affordable comfort, a couch for under $400, a mattress for $100 to $99. But today, the same families that once shopped there can't even afford the discounts. And that's the brutal irony. When a discount store can no longer offer discounts, it's not just a business failure. It's proof that affordability itself has vanished. The shelves are thinning, the lights are dimming, and with every Big Lots that closes, another piece of the middle class goes dark. Number 4, 7-Eleven. For decades, 7-Eleven was the heartbeat of late-night America. Truckers grabbing coffee, teenagers buying Slurpees, commuters fueling up before work. It wasn't just a store, it was part of the rhythm of everyday life. But in 2025, that rhythm is breaking. 7-Eleven is shutting down 444 stores across North America, the largest contraction in the company's 97-year history. Inflation, wage hikes, and collapsing foot traffic have crushed profit margins. A store that once made $1,500 a day in steady sales now struggles to make half that. And the irony? Convenience is no longer convenient. Food delivery apps replaced midnight snack runs. Gas prices skyrocketed. And urban crime has made late-night shifts a risk most franchise owners can't afford. Theft at convenience stores rose over 20% nationwide in 2024, costing retailers billions. Franchisees say that after paying corporate fees, utilities, and insurance, they're lucky to clear $40,000 a year, barely enough to survive. Many are walking away, leaving behind darkened storefronts and faded red, green, orange signs. When a 7-Eleven closes in a small town, it's not just about losing the chips and soda. It means no 24-hour groceries, no quick gas, no place to grab medicine at midnight. Another piece of everyday America, gone. 7-Eleven built its empire on speed, access, and the promise that you'd never be too far from what you need. But now the lights are going out, and what's replacing them isn't community, it's isolation. The death of 7-Eleven isn't just retail collapse. It's the fading heartbeat of everyday America, replaced by screens, apps, and empty parking lots. Number 5, TGI Friday. TGI Fridays used to define celebration in middle-class America. Birthdays, after-work drinks, family dinners under red neon lights. But in 2025, the party's over. The chain has shut down 36 locations so far this year, with dozens more expected. Crushed by $37 million in debt, the company is bleeding out as dining traffic keeps falling. A meal for two now tops $45, a luxury too steep for families already battling inflation. Foot traffic is down 30% since 2019, and franchise owners say corporate fees and rent make survival impossible. Even real estate sales and layoffs couldn't stop the slide. Fridays built its empire on celebration, sizzling platters, laughter, comfort. Now, Americans are eating at home, watching their budgets, skipping fun dining altogether. What was once a symbol of leisure is now a casualty of economic fatigue, when even Friday night feels unaffordable. You know the middle-class dream is officially closed for business. Number 6, Macy's. For more than a century, Macy's was the crown jewel of American retail. Parades, window displays, holiday magic. But in 2025, that sparkle is fading fast. The company has announced 65 more store closures, bringing the decade-long total to over 300. Revenue fell $1.7 billion last year, Debt now exceeds $4.3 billion, and holiday sales, once the lifeblood of the brand, dropped 9% from 2023. Executives call it realignment, but it's really a slow funeral for the American mall. Every Macy's that goes dark drags half a dozen smaller stores down with it. Local jobs vanish. Tax revenue disappears. Entire malls turn into echo chambers. Macy's was never just a store, it was a stage for the middle-class dream, a place to feel prosperous, even for a moment. Now that dream sits behind shuttered gates. When Macy's can't sell the American dream anymore, maybe it's because the dream itself is gone. Number 7, Forever 21. For years, Forever 21 was the fashion kingdom of the American mall. Loud music, cheap dresses, and the thrill of walking out with a bag full of new. But in 2025, the lights are going out. The company is closing up to 200 more stores nationwide after another year of collapsing sales. Once a $4.4 billion empire, it's now a relic of an economy in a generation that's run out of impulse. Mall traffic has fallen 45% since 2019. Online giants like Shein and Temu now sell similar clothes for half the price and deliver them in days. Even Forever 21's famous $15 dress can't compete with a $6 one-click alternative. But this isn't just about fashion. It's about a shift in values. Gen Z doesn't want fast fashion anymore. They want survival. Forever 21 promised eternal youth. But like the American mall and the illusion of endless consumption, it didn't last forever. Number 8, Bed Bath & Beyond. For decades, Bed Bath & Beyond was the symbol of middle-class comfort, wedding registries, college dorm shopping trips, and aisles of things you didn't need but always bought. But by 2025, that dream unraveled for good. After years of losses and failed turnarounds, the brand was dismantled piece by piece. Debt soared past $5 billion, and stores shuttered across the country. Even after a desperate acquisition and rebrand attempts, the damage was irreversible. The collapse wasn't just about e-commerce competition. It was about a consumer base that no longer exists. When rent eats half your paycheck, nobody's buying $60 throw pillows or luxury bath towels. The aisles that once represented home, comfort, and optimism now echo with silence, a showroom for a lifestyle America can't afford anymore. Bed Bath & Beyond once promised better living. But when the middle class starts to collapse, even comfort becomes a luxury. Number 9, Kroger. When even Kroger, America's largest traditional grocery chain, starts collapsing, you know something deeper is breaking. In 2025, the company announced plans to close up to 60 stores before 2026, not in luxury markets, but in neighborhoods that rely on them most. The numbers are brutal. Food prices are up 25% since 2020. Worker wages have jumped nearly 30%, and theft cost Kroger over $1 billion last year. Profit margins? Gone. As customers trade name brands for dollar stores and online delivery, foot traffic has fallen to decade lows. Even Kroger's massive merger with the Albertsons hasn't stopped the bleeding regulators warn it could lead to hundreds more closures. And for many towns, losing Kroger isn't just inconvenient, it's catastrophic. Whole communities become food deserts overnight. When the store that feeds America can't afford to stay open, it's not just groceries going extinct, it's stability itself. Number 10, Party City. It's official. The party's over. Party City, once the go-to stop for birthdays, graduations, and celebrations, has shut down all remaining stores as of February 2025. At its peak, it had over 850 locations and nearly 15,000 employees. But after filing for bankruptcy twice in 2 years, the company finally ran out of air. Literally and financially, sales fell more than 40% from pre-pandemic levels, while helium prices tripled, and rent, labor, and shipping costs skyrocketed. Meanwhile, online giants like Amazon and Temu made it pointless to drive anywhere for $12 balloons when you can order them for half the price with free delivery. By the time stores closed, Party City was drowning in $1.7 billion in debt. The result is symbolic. Aisles once filled with color and laughter now sit silent and gray. When a nation stops buying balloons, it's not just because the party's over. It's because no one can afford to celebrate anymore. Number 11, JCPenney. Once, J.C. Penney was the heart of every mall in America. It's where families bought their first suits, school clothes, or wedding rings. A place where tradition and affordability met before both vanished. In 2025, J.C. Penney announced another round of closures, continuing a collapse that began over a decade ago. From 1,100 stores in 2010 to barely 600 today, the empire has crumbled. Revenue has fallen below $8 billion, down from a high of $18 billion, and debt still hovers near $3.5 billion. Malls have emptied. Traffic is down 45% since 2019, and the company's online presence feels stuck in another era. Even nostalgia can't save it. Inside, the shelves are dusty, the lights too bright, the silence too long. Every closure is more than a lost store. It's a piece of American identity fading into the past. J.C. Penney once dressed America. Now it's a museum of what we used to be. Number 12, Goodwill. When even Goodwill, a nonprofit built on donations and second chances, starts shutting down, you know something in the system has broken. In 2025, the organization closed dozens of locations across the Midwest, South, and California. The reason? Inflation didn't spare thrift stores. Donations are down over 20%, while rent and labor costs have surged 35% since 2020. Some stores now pay $8,000 a month in utilities, but make only $3,000 a day in sales. Even thrift shopping isn't cheap anymore. And as online resale apps like Poshmark, eBay, and Facebook Marketplace siphon off younger buyers, walk-in stores are fading into history. But the real tragedy isn't lost revenue, it's lost purpose. Thousands of people with disabilities and low-income workers are losing jobs that gave them dignity. Goodwill was supposed to be recession-proof. Now it's proof that even generosity can't survive the modern economy.